What's going on, guys? TD Wells, founder of Wells Media AI. I want to thank you for all watching and learning with me. And ultimately, I think that this is a I want to be as authentic as I possibly can, to be honest with you. And I'm speaking specifically to the car dealership world. Let's just call it both independent and franchise, right? Because there's the dealer car dealership, let's say, category, but the at the end of the day, I really want to focus and niche down to the sales and service department, ultimately finding the specific client that you need for your business, for your, like not just getting people that are looking, that may need to fill out credit app and then see if they can get approved, right? That's good. I mean, we should have those as well. I think that those have to be considered in order for, in order for you to have like your subprime department, if you will, right? Because I want to say, I don't know if, I don't think every dealership has a subprime department, but I think that the majority of dealerships get bad credit, right? And sometimes they may not want to deal with the bad credit specifically. So that kind of depends on if you're a pre-owned and new car, right? So it just kind of depends on how you do it. However, I will say that you need to have need to have different segments to attract subprime over here for that campaign specifically. Then you have to have people that know how to get those people through the door. Not to say that I'm sure the majority of dealers have those people in play that understand how to get that subprime individual through the door. And then what I mean by subprime is we're talking about not so good credit. Maybe they had a repo and their credit score is below 580 or somewhere around 600, hovering in that range. Could be 550. I've seen some low, really bad subprime deals that I've seen get done, right? I mean, that actually had, 500, 490s with a repo or two. And again, this is just, we're just talking, but I know we're talking points, and these are talking points, but it really does happen every single day in the car industry. So look, we're going to talk about the subprime and how you would really need to hone in on that. So you would have a specific campaign for just that, and then you would have a specific campaign or a group, yeah, campaign that would have for 650 or better, or then you could 650 to 680, and then you would have one for 720. Now, if you were running a credit campaign, that's what you would want to do in a case where you're running ads. And then we're talking about like Facebook ads, as well as some forms of Google ads. You can definitely utilize Google with this as well, but that wouldn't be a very specific strategy that I would say you to utilize. I would say you would want to do that for Facebook. Just remember, I think there's about 30 there's over a billion people on Facebook. So when somebody tells me Facebook ads don't work, man, I'm a big believer in demo, don't tell. What I mean by that is that I am not going to tell you that it works. I'm going to show you that it works. So here's why we're looking for 5 people. I'm not going, and I say 5 brands, 5 individuals, 5 car dealerships that have a little bit, not necessarily, maybe they struggle in the subprime department, bringing in those people that, that you have the cars, you just don't have enough people coming in. And not that I'm sure you would need to bank the right banks, but you already got that in play, right? You just need people, the right people, to hit your site. Now the point here is that you would own that data. That's the point. You need to own the data that's coming through. It can't be that you're buying leads. You can't I mean, buying leads is a thing of the past. In my opinion, it's just my opinion. And also hiring and having vendors in play. Not, now would would we be considered a vendor? I would say we're not a vendor in the case of that. We're not trying to go in and say we're going to do it for you. We're going to show you how to do it. You're just going to implement. You're going to have somebody implement it. That's it. You own the data. It's your data. You do whatever you want with it. And that's what I mean is, don't go out and start buying leads, because again, it's just for subprime, it doesn't I don't believe it works. You might get one or two. If you get two, well, hey, maybe that's beneficial that you spent 6,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 on leads, whatever it was. You could literally spend a quarter of that and generate 500 leads in the next 2 months. And when I say generate, I mean your ideal client if you have the right budget in play. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. There's a lot more I want to say, but I want to keep talking and talking and talking about things that I want to show. Right, that's what I talked about. Demo, don't tell. And it's not that I'm not trying to tell you anything specific. I am and that you don't already know. I'm just wanting to share that at the end of the day, you need to own your data. You need to own every piece of client or customer that's coming through the door, and you need to identify who and what it is that they're interested in. Right, that's really what the metric should be, is understanding what it is that they need. All right, so here is what I'm going to get into, and I'm going to share this tab. I believe it's okay, so I'm sharing it right now. Okay, so here is the bonus that I wanted to add today. This is actually going to be a Google ad. It's very simple. And what we're doing is I'm going to see who the lucky dealer is today. Okay. And so that dealer would probably be, let me go ahead and pop that in here. Let me see. Give me a second. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and Google car dealerships. I'm going to share this tab with you. And I'm doing this because I don't know any car dealerships in Nebraska. So I'm just going to say car dealerships in Nebraska. Nebraska, whoever is your lucky day here. So whoever is going to be chosen, I can use the the group or any group in here that I know or that I don't know, I should say. I'm going through this group. We can use, excuse me, let's use this Nissan dealership right here. I think this would be a good one. Now, I always kind of use like their sales department, which that's what I'm planning on doing right now. And I would imagine that they're using probably the web, uh, one of the vendors that they're supposed to use, that they're the co-op program, so to speak. If that, if you guys know what I mean. So anyway, look, let me get into that piece. So like if I were to take, let's just go in and look at their gallery. I just want to kind of take a look around here and see what kind of cars they have. And oh wait, this is actually Nissan USA. My fault. Let me go back. Look at that. See, I didn't even realize I was on that page. I told you this is totally unedited. So what you see me doing here is what you see me doing. I just want to kind of go to car dealerships in Omaha, and we are going to let's use this Woodhouse right here. Okay, I don't know. So there we are. So we can see that they've got this site. They've got, let's go in here. They've got, uh, whoa, they got 400 new vehicles. That's pretty good. It's a big dealership, decent size there. And obviously we got everything that we see here. So this is cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to just take their name up here. So we're using the new car instead of the used car. And now I think, again, I always say the biggest mistake that I believe most dealerships make, every dealership, is their marketing and then they're just sending people to their website. I think after you get the lead, okay, when you get the lead, that's when they need to know, okay, what does the inventory look like? Because it's an emotional purchase, right? So, like right now, I'm going to your site and I'm seeing everything that every other Ford dealership has. More than likely, it's probably not going to be too much different. And so, what's going to make your dealership stand out in the process of getting a quality a quality lead that has high intent, that's ready to do something. Now, granted, people are just going to go to your website organically because you're advertising on Google, right? That's what makes me, that's the difference, right? They're going to go, well, let's go check out this Ford dealership. Let's go look at this Ford dealership, right? And they're going to keep going within, a 10-mile radius if they prefer to drive in that, that far. They're going to go 15, 25. If they really want a car, they're going to go out like 100 plus. some people might go that far to get a vehicle if they want, if it's based on price. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But the point is that I think that if you're just going to the website, you know, you're losing. And whether, if you have a tracking mechanism on your website, that's fine as well. You should be tracking like what's going on and who's visiting. Those are all things that's another topic. Okay. But I'm just going to get into what we're going to do here. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to go back to my tab here, and I'm just going to go in here and paste it. Right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and I'm going to say, we're going to call this Ford Motor. Ford, what was the name of that company again? Let's see. It was Woodhouse. So we're going to give it a name. We're going to call it Woodhouse. Now, we're not using this in any negative or derogatory way. Basically, we're just showing the ad. Now, I don't have to use Woodhouse. I could just say Wood Ford. I'm just going to use Wood Ford so that way I don't use their name, but I did use the link up here. So we're going to call it Ford Drive Away campaign, or Ford Drive Away. Actually, my fault. Let's just call it Wood Ford. Okay. I didn't give it Woodhouse, just called it Wood Ford. Now I'm just going to go ahead and generate something here just to kind of create a framework. Wood Ford is a reputable business entity for its commitment to excellence. So we're going to call it Wood Ford Car Dealership. Okay. Now this is not the part that, this is the part that I think and I believe and I know for a fact that this needs to be someone that could really help your dealership push forward. And I'm just trying, look, guys, I'm just trying to like share my knowledge and information and literally how we're generating, like I'm talking about some serious gross revenues using this strategy. So all I'm going to do is I've already taken the name, the the preferred language. But if you did wanted to do this in Spanish, you could. That's fine. You can write a Spanish ad. I think that's important. Generate the description. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and put that in there. We're going to just have it recreate it. Yep, there we go. And then all we're doing now is we're just going to have them generate this for us. Okay, so hang on. Now all we wanted to do is we wanted to basically kind of create the copy for us, and we wanted to find our audience, because ultimately that's what it's about, right? Finding the ideal audience. So that's why I said I am not here to talk about it. I'm here to show you about it, like how it's going to find the ideal, right? So we're calling it Wood House Ford. That's fine. And so what it's done now is it's just found some keywords. We're using Google. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to see the ad combinations. And these are all the ad combinations here. So this is what you'd want. And you could sit in your seat and do the same exact thing and get the same result. And so we already have the exact, so to speak, image or system in play that would allow you to do that. I would need to get 5 car dealerships that are really interested in wanting to see this with just the one offer. Like, it's very simple and it's going to work in 30 days. If it doesn't work, I mean, we do have a guarantee. We know that if you follow our procedures and our processes, which don't, we found that some car dealerships have gotten tricky to try to say, well, they didn't really know how many they sold. Well, we track all that for you. So we help you in that process. And I mean, every dealership knows how many cars they sold and how much profit they made on each vehicle. So, you know, at the end of the day, that wouldn't even be up for debate. Okay, so here's what we're doing. We're going to go down here. We're looking at all the headlines. We don't have to add anything. We're just going to leave it right where it is. And I would just put in a tracking number. Like, that number would be like, hey, I've got a number that is 516, like this, right? And then, oh wait, let me just put that in there. So I would just put that number like that, and then I would just give it a number. So this would be a number that we already have in play that would allow you to basically track what's going on, right? And then we just put our tracking URL. It's optional, but we would have that set up so you would know exactly how many people are going to the site, who's clicking on what. But we're just going to use the keywords that are in here. But here's the caveat. It's not really a caveat. you can go in here and you could choose which keywords you want to use, right? Because that's really critical. This is a bonus. And again, I just need 5 people to understand it. This is so simple that on one car, you literally will drive traffic to one vehicle if done right. We're going to show you that. We have all the pieces to, you would just need to go into our campaign catalog. You would click on that one campaign is really that simple, and you're good to go. So right now we've got all these four car dealership near me, 4 cars for sale. So if you're selling trucks or whatever, we would just go on here and we are going to pick the car that we want to sell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the truck. So I'm clicking on the truck as we speak right now. So I just clicked on, I'm going to X this out of this. I just click on this truck that has 52 photos, right? And then I'm going to take that link and I'm going to utilize this link to strategy. Okay. So the reason I'm using